All right, everybody. So before we get looking at the some of our number indicators, it seems like things are slowing down a little bit, but the good news is come the second week of September, our company goes crazy.
Right.
So there's been a lot of chat right now about showings being a little bit slow, not a ton of traffic, not a lot of new stuff going up. But Steve, you've, based off what we just talked about in terms of how you track things, there's a lot of results that show that we do kick butt in the fall.
Well, and it has slowed down from previous months, and so we are noticing that. But what's interesting is that we're still well ahead of last August. And we last time I checked, and it's been about a week, but we were actually really in line with 2014's numbers in August.
And that was a good year.
2014 was phenomenal. So it's not, it has slowed down. It feels slower. People are holidaying, but it's still a pretty good August. So if that transitions into September the way that we think it's going to be, September should be a pretty good month. Once everybody gets used to or settled in from back to school and refocused on their real estate goals, then should be good.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's start looking at some numbers. So the price of oil, I do believe since we pulled the stat at the end of last week, it has dropped a little bit. This number says 48.7, but I think we're more around the $47 mark right now. The Canadian dollar is up at 79 cents versus 78 cents last week, which is fantastic news.
Very good news, because I'm off to San Diego next week.
I know, isn't that so great? I know we're going to Orlando, and I keep thinking, do we buy the money, or is it just going to keep getting better? But I think it's going to keep getting better.
It looks that way. Fingers crossed.
Which is really nice.
Yeah.
So what about listings, Steve?
Number of listings. Metro Calgary, we are at 7,003 listings, up a bit from 6,925 last month, or week, I should say. That is to be expected through August. Should see less sales, more listings. Red Deer is slightly down, which is interesting, to 735 listings. So, single-family homes, the market has, waiting for the update, there we go, picked up a little bit. We've got 4.4 months absorption rate overall, and the single-family homes are at 3.46 months. The condo market continues to be the thorn in everybody's side at 6.5 months absorption rate.
Being just because it's a unique perspective that you're here and you are in our downtown office and you work with so many realtors in our downtown office that work with condos, what's the vibe? Because it seems like that's not a great number, but I actually don't hear a lot of our agents who work with condos that. Upset isn't the right word, but it seems like stuff is still, they're still having some success. Yeah,
stuff is still selling. It's just properly pricing, and the pricing pressure has been going down. So you have to stay ahead of the downward trends, and as long as you're properly pricing, then it should move, but there's always those circumstances where you have a fantastic property and a fantastic price and just no interest, and that's the frustrating part with condos, because there's such an abundance that becoming or really shining and being different is challenging. So
again, I'm totally putting you on the spot here. So I was downtown on Saturday, and you see all of these signs for up and coming condo developments, but they haven't actually broken ground yet.
Right.
Do you think that some of those are going to be putting a bit of a stall on development because of this, or do you think that those are all in the running to just keep being built and this might?
There are some projects that have put on the brakes, and you see everything boarded up. That's pretty regular for, well, I've even seen that in busy markets, so it depends on the developer. Some others are pushing through. What I always find encouraging is that there is so much research done into these massive projects.
That's a good point. No one's spending hundreds of millions of dollars because they think that people aren't going to buy them.
Yeah. Now some developers are way more bullish than others, and that has bit developers in the butt in the past. But Calgary's market historically has always rebounded quite nicely, and our land sprawl is getting so ridiculously huge, and the infrastructure can't keep up to it. So at some point, we actually have to stop going out and start going up, which then the density will increase and the condos will become the only option for a lot of people.
Yeah. No, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Okay, looking at our surrounding area months of inventory, Okotoks 5.45, Airdrie 4.17, so a lot of consistency here in our regional areas. Cochrane 5.26, Strathmore 7.04, Sundre 11.78, Red Deer 5.21, and our benchmark price $443,600.